Welcome back, everybody, to episode number 29 in our Oxygen Not Included Redux series. I am working on our rocket bay. One thing that I have decided to do is that I was building these new rockets, and I was setting up gantries and doing the automation and running power and all kinds of things. And then I realized that I put a gantry on this side, and then I put ladders on this side so I can access any piping I need to do. These ladders are fine, as long as on the lower ones I use obsidian, and the rocket doesn't do any damage to them. So, on this rocket, I just put ladders on both sides. No gantry, no automation, no power, and it works great. So, that's what I'm doing now. I'm removing everything. Also means I can put the rocket bays a little closer together, fit some more up here, which is good. As far as my rocket designs, this rocket is my exploration rocket with my cartographic module. I have a rocket that is out in flight right now. We just finished drilling at the Gilded Asteroid field, and it's on its way back. So that's good. And then I have this rocket I built. I don't know if this will work out, but I put in Trailblazer, rover, and orbital cargo module, which means that I can either load it up with cargo to drop off at a planetoid, I can send down a rover, or I can drop off a duplicate through the Trailblazer module, all from this same rocket. So this will be like my rocket for going to new planetoids, which I've unlocked several of, and it should be able to cover everything. And now I'm working on another rocket here. The rocket that is out has a large cargo bay. I'm thinking what I'm going to do is set up ones that have different cargo containers so that I can collect other things from other parts of the star map. So like there's a gas tank and there's a liquid bay. So my exploration rocket, I have explored most of this sector down here, all around Watano, our water asteroid. We've uncovered some different fields that we can collect stuff from as well. And then down here is where we found the temporal tear. That is one of the final achievements. Okay, so I am ready to get this rocket launched. I'm just going to check all of our stuff in here. Tyler got some damage because I forgot to put his suit on before he ran out of the rocket, and so he ran through some hot steam from when it was landing. It happens. He'll heal while he's flying around in space. So I wanted to clean out these worn Atmos suits to go get them repaired, but we'll do that next time. I'm ready to launch him, so I want to get it going. So nice thing is now I don't need to worry about the gantry. This rocket can just launch. All I have to do is make sure I don't have any build orders, so I don't have a duplicate running through right here while the steam is turned away. Even if I do, if they're in atmospheres, they get scalded, but they'll be fine. Now we need to select where we're sending this rocket. So I am continuing on with my exploration of our galaxy. I think I kind of want to finish out this section. So I'm going to send the rocket here, and then we'll get those last few tiles and then head to another section. So let's get that going. Like I said, you can see it doesn't cause any problems. I did just rebuild all this, so I want to make sure I have the right materials. We might have a little bit of problems with the heat, but hopefully I'd made the right materials. Like everything's okay. We don't get too much heat coming through because of the insulated tiles. The heat dissipates quickly because the steam just disappears into space. These ladders and stuff get heated up, but since these are made out of obsidian, I'll probably have to increase where the obsidian goes up higher to get a couple more spots covered, but that's all good. So then the last thing to show you is that these pipes come through and they're fine. They don't get any problems. These I still have made out of ceramic, But what I've also done is I set a limiter on them so that only 1 kilogram at a time goes through. And so it takes a lot longer to refuel my rockets, but I don't have to worry about pipes breaking because the 1 kilogram, even if it drops below temperature, like if we look at these, it's coming back in at 237 degrees. And hydrogen should turn into a liquid well above that. So gas is at 252, so it should be turning into a gas and breaking out of my liquid pipes. But because there's only 1 kilogram, there's not enough mass for it to do that. So it comes back in here, it gets dropped off, and then it cools it back down really quickly because it's such a small mass. So you can see there's some change in the state there, but we don't lose any through the pipe. The pipe doesn't crack. I honestly think with it being just 1 kilogram, I could probably get away with just regular pipe. But I already have the ceramics lined out. I might try to change them later to save some cost, but ceramic's not really a problem for me right now. The steel was a problem because of all the steel I was using for these, but I'm getting rid of all the gantry, so that'll get me a lot of my steel back. I'm going to work on finishing clearing up these and moving our rocket bays. We have this rocket on its way back, and I would like to get the new rocket bay set up before it gets into orbit so that I can land it where I want it. Though now we have this one empty, we could land it right here, and that gives me more time. Also, we got our next achievement completed. So that was our down the hatch. Our smooth hatches have now produced 10 tons of refined metal. That was on our Gargani colony. If we look at our hatches here, we got a bunch of smooth hatches just going to town on the aluminum. So now that I am done with that achievement, this process for making refined metal is not very efficient. So I am going to take this out. I actually want nothing in here. I am going to set this to 0 critters, and our smooth hatches can be sent off to their happy home of being evolved into meat. I am going to stop this from doing the smooth hatching eggs. Finally, down here, I have this set. Oh, that's the sedimentary rock one. This one, did I change them both back to sedimentary rock? I do have it. That one's sedimentary rock. Yeah, I guess I already did take it off. I wanted to make sure they're not getting anything metal here. I don't want these making smooth hatchling eggs anyway. So they're back down to 0.7%. So we're set. So that means these hatches will be taken out, and this will go back to being an empty bay. I don't need the smooth hatches to be here anymore. And then when I get a new egg, I can put it in there. Let's actually see what we got in here. Nothing that we need. We'll just recycle it to try to get another one. So that's what we're working on over here, just slowly getting all the other ones. And then here I'm working on constructing my rocket bay to make it finished so that we can have multiple rockets going to do various things all across our galaxy. So I'm going to continue working on the rocket bay, and we'll just wait for our rockets to travel, and we'll move on from there. I have thought of another change I want to do to my Spacefarer modules. I added in a duplicate motion sensor to my automation for the mini gas pump. So basically, I like to have this shut off when we're stationary because there's no duplicates in here without Atmos suits on. So there's no carbon dioxide being made, so it's a waste of power. what I think I'm going to do, I'll leave the signal switch on in case I want to manually turn it on so that it will um, I'll be able to vent it if it builds up. But if I have the duplicate motion sensor here, anytime the duplicate comes down here, the gas pump will turn on briefly. In fact, what I should do, put in buffer gate. So we'll put that in here. And then we'll put the automation sensor or automation wire from this going into this, and then like this. So basically the idea will be that anytime we have a duplicate walk through here, we'll run it for a specific amount of time, maybe 30 seconds. And then that way, once a day, our duplicate comes down through here. They come down and step in here while they're heading into the bathroom, or when they're coming out. So, assuming that happens, then 30 seconds every day, this will vent the gas into space. And then when we get back home, if it has built up, we'll just vent it manually. I think that's a good idea. So, let's get that finished before we launch this rocket again, and then we'll give that a test. The other thing I wanted to talk about was I set the rockets up so that everything is lined up. So it's the engine, and then a spacefarer module, then the oxidizers, and then the fuel tanks, and then whatever modules we add up top. Reason for that is that way the water line that comes in to refuel our bathrooms, the oxygen line, the hydrogen line, they all line up right to the same spots, because this section here from the fuel tank down to the engine is the same on every rocket. So they land, and then we have this space to do whatever design we want for the top part. And so basically I've just been putting what I need there for our rocket, in this case a drill cone and a cargo bay, and then I fill the rest up with battery and then solar panels. Pretty simple. I also then have these I try to line these up so that I can connect my power to the battery so that we're getting grid power to recharge the battery when it's sitting still here. So in case we need to run that gas pump, we can run it off of the grid instead of running it off the solar panels. So it all works out pretty good. We have moved our second rocket platform over here, and now we built a new ladder. So now when I have this next rocket that's in space come back, we'll be able to put that there. I've just been slowly moving this around to clear out these last couple tiles, and then we're going to head over to this area. We'll have to figure out how many tiles we have left when we do that. From here to here is 11 tiles. So once we get to here, if we can get to here in less than, with still having 11 left, then we'll head over there to do that and try to get some more done. If not, we'll just head back, refuel, and head back out and start on this sector down here. But it's nice to have an entire section here completely mapped out. I am getting ready to relaunch our mining rocket, and I was thinking about something, and it does take a couple of minutes, not even 60 seconds or so, to refill the fuel tanks because of this 1 kilogram. But it doesn't, I don't have any issues with it because it takes about that much time to restock everything inside the spacefarer module, and to restock the diamond, and to empty the storage, and to pick up all of the items here that need to get swept and put away. I wouldn't need most of it. I wouldn't need to sweep up. They can get it, but sure what's all here. We have regolith, sedimentary rock, fine carbon. I don't know what all I mined from that one. But say I mine something. There's gold. So if I mine something that has a lower temperature threshold, like a metal, if the steam melts it, since we're in a space tile here, it's just going to disappear. And I could fix that by putting a drywall here so that the whatever liquid is would stay there. But then I have to worry about steam staying there and causing heat issues. So I just would rather just let the duplicants grab the stuff. I might think about maybe setting up a way for it to get picked up automatically. I don't know. I don't know that it's all that. But basically what I'm saying is it's okay that it takes a little time because I need a little time. I'm not in any hurry. What I do need to do while I'm waiting on that, get this rocket. So we still have 22 tiles remaining. I think I'm going to do 6 tiles to get to here, and then we'll see what's over here and go from there. But that'll get this tile along the way, and then this whole sector will be finished. And I'm going to work on this one and then work my way around to get it all. Probably I'm going to get another rocket set up that's exploring on the other side of the galaxy too to speed the process up. I'm working on finishing the Spacefarer modules for these rockets. The construction's getting done. But the other thing I want to do is I had a couple more ideas on things I could change in here. I'm waiting for this one to get built like the other one so I can do some tweaks and tests before I go. So we'll work on that while the other rockets are going. But let's check on this here. So I'm just going to wait for all this stuff to get swept up just to make sure I don't have any problems with it. I guess maybe I could put a door down here that gets opened when I empty it and it drops it down into here, and then they have all the time in the world to pick it up. Let's try that. I don't know if having a door under this rocket platform will make it work. It's worth testing. So I'm going to probably test that, see what I could do, and go from there. But I want to get this rocket back into space doing its thing sooner rather than later. So I have multiple rockets moving around. My mining rocket just returned and it's refueling. About to... Let's see. Oh no, this is my exploration rocket. Exploration rocket just returned and refueling before it goes out. Mining rocket is on its way back. And I have this new rocket on flight to Moomiel. But I realized I made kind of a silly mistake. My intention is to deploy my cargo modules and then deploy my pilot down through the Trailblazer module. I'm not sure if a rocket can land without a pilot. So this might be a big problem. We're going to try it though. I'm going to save beforehand, and if it doesn't work out, then we can always fix it. But the idea is I have some stone and some steel in these cargo modules. I want to deploy those so that I have them on the surface, and then deploy Garfield, and he will build me a rocket platform so I can land the rocket. And then the rocket he can live in while we work on Moomiel. That's the plan. I'm going to find out if it works. It's going to be a few more cycles before it arrives at the orbit. So not quite ready to do it, just getting there. But the other thing we did is we explored a lot more. Just a couple of the question marks we checked out. But we have unlocked a total of 8 of the planetoids. I'm not sure how many there are. I think there is only 8. So that might be it. But I can't remember if there was 8 total or if there was 8 plus the original. But we're still going to continue mapping out the rest of the galaxy map. So we'll find everything eventually. We're going to get this rocket into orbit, and then we'll test out our deployment, and then that will be it for today. But like I said, it's going to take another half a cycle before we're able to do that, and then we'll see what happens with it. We're about to enter orbit at Moomiel. I actually want this rocket to this cargo to auto deploy, and then I am going to deploy our pilot. We also need to make sure our pilot is wearing his Atmos suit. Otherwise, he's not going to last very long when he gets to the surface. There we go. It's pretty neat. So when you have it auto deploy, it just sends them down as soon as you enter an orbit, which is pretty cool. And you can set up some automation stuff with that. Let's check. All right, he's got his suit on. Let's deploy him. So now this is going to be a pretty tricky endeavor, getting him set up to do this. Let's see, where do I want to deploy you? I need to get 2 of these. 2 of these cargo pods, because that'll be 200, 400 plus the 400 from the lander to give me what I need for our rocket platform. I'm also going to need to get an area dug in that's out of the space biome pretty quickly. So, I think I could do it over here, and then it'd be 1 tile there, 1 tile there. That's it. Okay, let's do that. Here we come in landing. Things I want to dig this and this, because I need to unpack this. I need to deconstruct this. I need to empty this. That's a hard dig. It's not. Okay, let's see. Is there a way I could do this? It's a hard dig. It's a hard dig. I don't think so. I'm trying to see if I can find a way to do it where this chlorine will drip in and cause an airlock, but I don't think so. I think I'm just going to have to get things started and then get things set up with an airlock afterwards. So that's okay. We're going to cancel this, this. There we go. I just want to get him inside here. Even though this is natural gas, there's not much polluted oxygen in here. He's still in a suit. I just want to get him out of the space area, because he's going to get exposure to space really quickly, causing him to get sick. So if he has an area where he can get in here like this would be great. I had a little bit of an issue with an appliance in my kitchen. Hopefully I can edit those beeping out, but I had to go fix it. It was shorting out. Really random. Okay, so let's see. We are getting over to get our steel. We're also going to need a place to deploy the rocket platform. So let's dig. Well, that's going to be an issue. Do it like that. Speed this up now that we have our building plans going. Oh, I didn't even think of that. Once we went up to the space tile, that chlorine just disappeared. Okay, so he can get up to get the steel. Once I get that one last one deployed, I can put a rocket platform, and then I can send him in here where there is some oxygen until we get the rocket down. Okay. So let's see. Rocket platform. Cool. He's grabbing the steel from over there already. And then the rest of it's sitting right here, so it shouldn't take long to build this. Oh, he's already infected by sunburn. Hopefully he can get that built before we have a problem, and then I can get him in here. Move to here. Okay. And now we will land our rocket. I think the other thing we're going to have to be able to do, get him up to the rocket then. So if I go like this, this, that'll definitely get him there. So he can sleep in here, he's breathing. Oh no, he's out of breath. Oh, because this is, oh no, there's polluted oxygen in here. Are you able to breathe? If I can get him to get these ladders built real quick, I might just make it here. He's very close. Come on, get inside. Get inside the rocket. Yay, he made it. Now he's able to breathe. Unequip your suit. Okay. So let's do it this way. Let's change this to just crew. That'll restrict him to being inside there just for now. So we successfully got a rocket. Wait, why are you outside? This is restricted to crew. That means get your butt inside the rocket. Because you're not listed as a pilot anymore? That's silly. Oh, yeah, because we deployed him. Makes sense. Okay, so he's inside. He can stay in here for quite a bit until he gets healthy and rested and fed and all those good things. His breath's coming back up. Okay. Sign to Garfield. Let's assign this to him too. Not that it needs to be, but his health's at 100. Stress is high, but his stress will go down as he sleeps and everything. Okay, so I'm not quite sure what we're gonna do with this yet. We may, now that we have the rocket platform, we may send him back so he can get some more materials before we start building, or we might try to get him building outside. But either way, we're gonna do that in the next episode. Our goal here on Moomiel is to establish a little bit of a base, especially since now we can get back and forth and set up a way to tame the Gassy Moos for our achievement. So let's quick look at the achievements that we need to get with them. So they are part of the Critter Whisperer achievement, so we just need to tame one. But then there is also moving on up, and that's also just tame a Gassy Moo. So now we can get both of those achievements done really quickly. And then what's left as far as base game achievements is to tame a Dreco, a Puffed, and a Pokeshell. This finely tuned machines, we're on our way to doing it. We're at 36 out of 100 now. To block a meteor, we have to get to an asteroid that gets meteors. And then we have job suitability, which is the one where we have to have all of our duplicates using an exosuit for 10 cycles in a row, which I'm not quite sure how I'm going to make that happen with 22 duplicates, but we'll figure out a way. And then that's it. Then we have our DLC achievements, and then we have the final achievements for the game to complete the Great Escape, which is sending somebody through the temporal tear after finishing a few other achievements, and then Home Sweet Home, which we're almost at. We just need to build a great monument. So we're getting pretty close to having all the achievements done, and then we're going to have to decide what we're going to do as far as continuing the series or starting a new one. I'm leaning towards, once we finish all the achievements that we want to do on here, taking a break from this one, maybe coming back to it later, and starting another colony on one of the other asteroids that I've been really excited to try to play. I'm literally almost 5,000 hours of gameplay into the game, and I've only ever played on the initial asteroids. So I think that could be fun, but that it will be a little while before we get there, so we have time to think on it. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I had a little bit of some technical difficulties through it, so hopefully the video's not too bad with some of the audio, but we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.